Snakes scare the living daylights out of most people. Maybe it's because I don't fully understand their behavior, but they are still fascinating to me. Have you ever seen a python hunt a lion? Do you know what a black mamba is? If you want to see some vicious snakes in action, keep watching as we count down 12 incredible battles involving large snakes.
Did you see him, Margo?
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is not. Oh! Look at the size of this snake.
Number 12. King Cobra. Here is a little brave snake challenging a king cobra. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking this snake has no clue how powerful a king cobra is. The king cobra is much bigger, but this snake holds its ground. They stare at one another for a moment or two, and then the cobra strikes the snake, but I think it misses. Suddenly, the snake leaves, and so does the cobra. Can someone please explain to me what just happened in the comments below? Thank you. This golden king cobra strikes a python in an aquarium. Why would someone put these two snakes inside a small aquarium? Because he's a sadistic individual who likes to use animals for his own personal entertainment. Surprisingly enough, it's the cobra that eats the python and not the other way around. A venomous cobra leaves its lair, drawn to the scent of hatching crocodile eggs. When it comes upon a nest, the cobra discovers another predator is already on the premises. A monitor lizard stands his ground and isn't going to give the cobra an inch without a fight. He tells the snake it's finders keepers. Even though the snake is venomous, it doesn't bother the reptile. They both size each other up and then try to intimidate the other by increasing their size. The cobra is poised to strike, and with that, the monitor lizard retreats, but not before taking a parting shot at the cobra. The cobra has the egg dinner all to himself, only the shells are empty. The monitor lizard has the last laugh this time. The battle was over even before it began. This king cobra attacks this monitor lizard and eventually injects its venom into the lizard before swallowing it whole, starting with the lizard's head. The Fanatic brings you all the best content you want to see when it comes to the animal kingdom. If you want to see the latest confrontations between animals and the best animal videos, please subscribe now. We post new videos every day for your entertainment. Number 11. Python versus Leopard. This leopard is no longer the lone assassin on the loose. There's a new dangerous animal on the loose, and it's approaching. The leopard returns home when the hunt fails and calls her youngster, but there is no response. Something isn't right. The leopard recognizes the killer in less than a second, an African rock python. As she attacks her cub's killer, the female leopard puts her own life in jeopardy. The python hides among the thorns, but the leopard is undeterred. Her perseverance comes off at long last. The leopard is ready for the following round after the injured python finally moves. She waits until the python exits the cave. But there isn't a fight. The snake is forced to give up its well-earned meal due to a built-in reflex. When pythons are under duress, they regurgitate their meal to shed the excess weight and make a quick escape. The leopard has given up the attack and has discovered her dead cub, which the python has left behind. These two leopards appear to have discovered something wriggling in the undergrowth in this video. A closer look reveals it to be a python. Cats will constantly tap on something they are unfamiliar with, whether it is a huge cat or a domestic cat, just to get an idea of what it is. One of these leopards then rolls around on the floor as if it wants to play with the python, but it quickly understands the python is not a toy and bolts. Number 10. Python versus deer. In the world of predators, patience is a virtue. While waiting for a meal to get within striking distance, a snake shuts down its physiological functions to conserve energy. There's nothing left but a pilot light, and it could be weeks before it gets fixed. Mammals all around it look to be using a great deal of energy compared to the snake. When a snake must travel rapidly, it may move at breakneck speeds. A group of hunters are treated to an unusual sight as they come across a python eating a blesbok. They came just as the snake is about to devour the blesbok's head, and the python gobbles the entire blesbok in less than 5 hours. The next day, it was still there, undisturbed, with a massive figure in its stomach. The video was sped up 8 times to show the complete process of how the python swallowed the blesbok, as well as the snake's strength and power as it squeezed the blesbok's entrails apart so it could fit within its mouth. This is extremely unusual footage, but these hunters were fortunate enough to get a glimpse of it. Like many predators, the python hunts in the darkness. It has sensors in its snout that can detect whether prey is close by. In a two-pronged attack, the python grips victims with its jaws and then utilizes bondage as a second weapon. With each extension, the python tightens its grasp on the springbok. Each breath becomes shallower as the python tightens its grip, until death by strangling happens. The jaws are putting on a show right now. Pythons consume their prey whole, beginning with the head rather than chewing or dismembering it. This python has one of the largest stomachs ever seen, and it can go a year without eating after this. Once its prey has been trapped, a snake can take its time eating. A deer is being devoured by this huge python. A python kills its prey by wrapping its coils around it and squeezing it until it can't breathe any longer, yet it takes time to consume its meal. The deer will be eaten head first since it is much easier that way. Number 9. Python versus dog. Dogs have the same edge over snakes as big as cats have. They can attack from above and have powerful jaws. Yet while big snakes are more powerful and have the advantage of robust claws, dogs can still deal with snakes quite well. I'm not sure how often stray or wild dogs encounter pythons, but this dog appears to be in serious peril in this video. This python has its entire body wrapped around it, suffocating it. The dog is temporarily freed from the python's grip, but only for a few seconds until the python reclaims it. This dog is courageous and it starts biting at the serpent non-stop until the python lets go of the dog, which then manages to flee. That was one getaway I hadn't anticipated. This young man is attempting to save his puppy from a python in our following video. The python has the dog in its grip, and the man uses a stick to try to free the snake. Despite the snake's strength, the guy can rescue the dog after several efforts. Number 8. Python versus monkey. These adult monkeys stay on the lookout for danger. One of their deadliest threats is also one of the stealthiest. Its huge camouflaged body disappears under a leaf litter. The snake senses warm-blooded prey. Indian pythons can grow up to 16 feet and can easily swallow a monkey whole. The python knows food is close and bides its time until the moment is right. The snake coils its muscular body around its victim until it suffocates and swallows the prey whole. Number 7. Python versus alligator. This python has started swallowing an alligator, and the entire animal is virtually within the snake's stomach in this thumbnail. It will take some time for the snake to digest the alligator once it has swallowed it. Burmese pythons are an invasive species from South Asia that has established themselves in the Florida Everglades. These massive constrictors compete with American alligators as top predators. For the first time in history, these two apex predators are battling for the same resources. Because of their powerful jaws, large alligators have a significant advantage against the pythons. The alligator grabs the python with a force of nearly 2,000 pounds per square inch. The python is almost probably not going to be able to break free. Regardless, the alligator surrenders to the python. An unexpected turn of circumstances occurs after a long and grueling war. On rare occasions, the Burmese python has been known to terrify the alligator into fleeing, and this is one of them. This python wraps itself around the small alligator and begins to suffocate it. The alligator attempts desperately to free itself, but the python has already swallowed its head. I don't think this alligator can get out of this unless it's Houdini. Number 6. Python. Everyone knows how tough hyenas are, but this python just finished killing one, and it's in the process of swallowing it whole. It's the first time I see a python swallowing a hyena like this. This is insane. This wild boar family goes for a walk in a swamp, but something is waiting for them, and it's not their long-lost cousin. It's a python, and it's hungry. The python gets so close to the boars, it's surprising they don't run for their lives. They stick around, and for some reason, the snake doesn't bother them until it grabs one and coils around it. That's when the boar squeals until it dies. The snake finishes it off and begins to swallow it. This snake pulls a goat out of the forest and begins to swallow it. The goat is already dead, most probably killed by the snake. Look at how long the snake is. It begins to swallow the goat whole. This python attacks a monitor lizard in the water. The snake begins to swallow the lizard, but it's not clear what it does afterward. In this black and white movie, a python encounters a tiger and a battle ensues. The snake tries to wrap itself around the feline, but the tiger sinks its powerful jaws into the snake's body. The snake manages to wrap itself around the tiger nonetheless, and just when you thought the tiger was going to win this one, it looks like it's gonna be the snake. But don't take my word for it. These two pythons clash because they both want to eat a rodent that's actually stuck between the two reptiles. The snakes both want the prize for themselves and get all tangled up over the affair. In the end, one of the snake kills the other, and instead of eating a small rodent, he ends up eating a huge snake. Number 5. Anaconda. A crocodile is being crushed by this anaconda, and there's no way the crocodile will be able to escape. The snake is enormous, and it has wrapped itself around the crocodile. The crocodile isn't little either. This anaconda is a nice size, but it packs a punch. Wow. The green anaconda is known for being the heaviest snake on the planet. They can reach a length of 25 feet and a weight of more than 300 pounds. To maintain their mass, anacondas spend almost all their time in and around water. This snake generally waits for prey to come to it, as it is distinguished to fit in with plant-choked water. Snakes with eyes and nostrils on top of their heads can stay underwater for long periods of time while waiting to ambush. The capybara, the world's largest rodent, may weigh more than 100 pounds, lives alongside the anaconda on this flooded plain. Because aquatic plants make up a big portion of the capybara's diet, they spend a lot of time near water, which makes for an excellent anaconda hunting habitat. It can stalk without being noticed underwater by extending its head only long enough to assess distance. It's just sitting there, waiting. It strikes, coiling 6 rows of fangs around this massive rodent. There's no way to get out of this situation. Anacondas do not kill their victims with venom. They suffocate their prey by cutting off blood flow to the heart, causing cardiac arrest. Once the heart has stopped beating, they begin to consume their meal whole, toes and all. The elastic ligaments and flexible joints in their jaws help them achieve this. An anaconda lies waiting in a waterhole, ready to pounce on anything that looks tasty. A few birds flit about, but is it truly what the anaconda wants? A caiman swims by, completely unaware of the snake's existence. Before they are ambushed, the caiman leap up from the water. Number 4. Anaconda versus cow. This snake is so hungry, it chooses to attack a cow. That's correct. Take note of how the snake drags the cow out of its coral and clings to its leg. Is this something that will happen? Because the person filming decides to quit, and I have no idea why. This massive anaconda is devouring a live young cow. As you can see in the video, it all starts with the head. I understand that snakes can stretch their mouths wide, but a cow is enormous. It will take months for the snake to digest such a massive animal, but you'll know it's done when you see the tips of the snake's leg enter the snake's body. When this snake tries to suffocate another cow, it causes havoc. This cow, on the other hand, is not about to accept its situation and easily frees itself and flees. Number 3. Black mamba versus rat. This rat has no idea he's in severe danger and continues to move around a venomous snake, even stepping on it while the snake waits for the ideal moment to strike, and then strikes. The rat is promptly devoured after the venom acts. When a snake sees a small rodent moving around, it comes out hunting for food. When the snake detects the rodent is not far away, it enters the rodent's den and searches for it. The snake slithers into the rodent's underground burrow and grabs it. Even when they're minding their own business, rodents aren't safe at home. Number 2. Black mamba. When a black mamba approaches a Russell's viper, the viper bites the mamba first. The viper has stopped moving and the black mamba is watching. A black mamba and a mongoose clash. The mongoose is difficult to spot. However, the mamba is easy to see. Mongooses are great snake hunters, but how will this one fare against this dangerous serpent? The mamba intends to attack the mongoose, but the latter avoids being caught off by surprise and uses camouflage. The result of the conflict is left to your imagination. This snake bites a little chameleon, but the chameleon is tougher than imagined, standing and facing the snake despite being bitten numerous times. What exactly is going on here? The snake gives up the chase and lets the chameleon escape. It must be something the chameleon must have said. Number 1. Snake versus lions and other enemies. There aren't many videos where snakes go head to head with lions, but this next clip is one of them. A gigantic python lunges at a snake, but the young lion is quick and maneuvers around the python, seeking to find the ideal place to strike. When the lion decides to engage, they are caught in a fight to the death. A few more members of the pride arrive and assault the snake, helping their friend. 2 lions notice a cobra sticking its head out of the dense grass. They creep up a little closer, but they retain their distance since they don't want to annoy the snake. This snake grabs a frog and bites into it. The frog is lamenting itself and trying to escape, but it's already halfway into the snake's stomach. Enough already! Capuchins have different calls for different threats. The rest of the troop instantly recognizes this one and all come together. They try to scare the snake away by making as much noise as possible. Even the baby is determined to help. This yellow rat snake isn't after monkeys, it's after a Brazilian rodent called a pinare. Capuchins are incredibly curious, and even the baby can't resist taking a closer look. But there is a fine line between curiosity and foolhardiness. With hundreds of backward-facing teeth, there's no way the snake is giving up his prize. But that wasn't the only Pyrenees, and the monkeys decide to imitate the snake and get their own little rodent for lunch. This white cat is looking in the wrong hole when a snake pops out of there and grabs the cat. The snake violently pulls the cat inside the hole, and even though the cat is trying to wriggle himself out of the snake's hold, the snake is way too strong and kills the cat. Snakes eat all sorts of animals, and lizards are no exception. This sidewinder snake hides under the sand and strikes the lizard when it gets close. The lizard doesn't see it coming, and it is toast. Here is a lizard in a compromising position. It's still breathing, trying to resist the snake's attack, but it's not easy to do so. The snake is not only suffocating the lizard, but it's also sinking its fangs into the lizard's body. Once the snake thinks the lizard is dead, it detaches its fangs and moves toward the head of the lizard to swallow it. But the lizard is still not dead, as you can see it breathing, so the snake begins to swallow it alive. But when the lizard begins to wriggle, the snake must go back into attack mode, and after 7 minutes, the lizard dies and the snake can finally eat. Here's a small snake coiled around a lizard. The snake makes the kill and begins to eat the reptile without a problem. This last battle between the two pythons was incredible, but my favorite must be the capuchin monkeys watching the python kill a rat and then doing the same thing as the snake. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.